Step into the magic of Grandmillennial holiday style with our 2026 Vintage Christmas Crafts Guide. In this video, we'll explore handmade decor ideas that blend nostalgia with elegance. From charming ornaments to cozy wreaths, you'll discover how to infuse your home with classic holiday warmth. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment to share your own festive inspirations. Classic ornament revival. Vintage-inspired ornaments are at the heart of the Grandmillennial look. Think delicate glass baubles, hand-painted details, and rich color palettes that evoke childhood memories. These ornaments not only adorn your tree but also tell a story, blending past and present seamlessly. Incorporate heirloom pieces or recreate them with DIY techniques to keep the tradition alive. Handcrafted wreaths. Nothing says holiday charm like a handmade wreath. Using natural elements like pine cones, berries, and evergreen branches, you can craft a statement piece for your door or mantel. Layer textures and mix vintage ribbons for an authentic 1920s to 1940s aesthetic that enhances your home's festive ambience. Rustic garland magic. Garlands bring a cozy, nostalgic vibe to any space. String popcorn, cranberries, or handcrafted paper chains to adorn mantels and staircases. Pairing rustic materials with soft lighting amplifies the warm, welcoming atmosphere quintessential to Grandmillennial decor. Vintage-inspired table settings. Create a holiday table that feels timeless with embroidered linens, antique china, and elegant glassware. Small touches like handmade napkin rings or vintage candle holders add sophistication while staying true to the Grandmillennial aesthetic. It's a perfect blend of charm and intimacy for family gatherings. Festive centerpieces. Handmade centerpieces can transform your table into a seasonal masterpiece. Incorporate dried flowers, miniature ornaments, and vintage figurines to reflect the era's nostalgic elegance. The focus is on layering textures and details that invite guests to linger and admire your creativity. DIY Advent calendars. Advent calendars can be both decorative and interactive. Craft small pouches, boxes, or envelopes, each holding a treat or tiny ornament. A vintage-inspired color palette and handwritten numbers will create a charming countdown that's personal and festive. Holiday candle decor. Candles are central to the warm glow of Grandmillennial Christmas. Hand-poured candles in soft hues, decorated with ribbons or sprigs of greenery, enhance cozy corners and bring a nostalgic ambience to any room. Layered candle displays make an inviting focal point for seasonal gatherings. Quaint stocking styles. Personalized, handmade stockings elevate the traditional fireplace display. Use embroidery, patchwork, or velvet fabrics to achieve a vintage look. Adding small ornaments or charms gives each stocking character, reflecting the era's attention to detail and handcrafted elegance. Timeless tree toppers. Tree toppers set the tone for your holiday tree. Consider handcrafted angels, stars, or bows in classic colors and textures. Choosing a vintage-inspired design ensures your tree radiates that nostalgic, Grandmillennial charm. Homemade tree skirts. A beautiful tree skirt anchors your Christmas tree. Handmade versions with quilted fabrics, embroidery, or vintage trims not only protect your floors, but also enhance the overall aesthetic. Layering textures can make your tree corner feel curated and cozy. Festive handmade cards. Sending personalized holiday cards reflects the Grandmillennial spirit. Create your own using vintage motifs, pressed flowers, or calligraphy. They add a heartfelt touch to your greetings and double as keepsakes that friends and family will cherish. Decorative mantel ideas. Mantels are prime spots for showcasing handmade decor. Combine garlands, candles, small figurines, and vintage ornaments for layered visual interest. Mixing textures and heights creates a sophisticated, lived-in holiday look. Charming holiday vignettes. Small vignettes around your home highlight handcrafted decor. Place vintage figurines, candle clusters, or miniature trees on shelves, side tables, or windowsills. These curated corners evoke nostalgia and make the holiday experience immersive and enchanting. Festive window displays. Windows offer a canvas for seasonal creativity. Hang handcrafted ornaments, wreaths, or paper stars to complement your interior decor. Exterior-facing displays can welcome neighbors with a cozy, festive spirit that reflects traditional charm. Grandmillennial color palette. Color plays a key role in vintage-inspired Christmas crafts. Deep reds, hunter greens, soft golds, and ivory accents create a nostalgic yet elegant atmosphere. Integrating these shades into your handmade decorations ensures a cohesive and timeless aesthetic. Repurposed vintage finds. Incorporate old family treasures or thrifted vintage pieces into your holiday decor. Whether it's ornaments, candle holders, or tabletop items, repurposing these finds adds authenticity and character to your space, embracing the essence of Grandmillennial style. Festive lighting accents. Lighting enhances every holiday craft. Soft string lights, lanterns, and candle arrangements create warmth and depth. Thoughtful placement can highlight your handmade decor and make every corner of your home feel magical and inviting. Eco-friendly crafting. Sustainable materials can be beautifully incorporated into Grandmillennial decor. Use natural fibers, recycled paper, and upcycled containers for ornaments and decorations. This approach not only preserves the planet, but also aligns with the timeless charm of handmade holiday crafts. Family craft traditions involve family in creating decorations for a personal touch. Grandmillennial style thrives on shared memories and handcrafted details. Turn crafting into a holiday ritual, teaching new generations the joy of creating meaningful, lasting decor. Conclusion: embrace vintage holiday charm. Grandmillennial Christmas crafts bring timeless elegance and handmade warmth to your 2026 holiday celebrations. From wreaths to ornaments, each project reflects nostalgia, style, and care. Subscribe, like, And comment to share your favorite crafts and keep the festive inspiration alive. Celebrate a season full of charm, creativity, and joy